she asked about desires and how do we know which desires are good desires, desires that are going to help us on our path, which are therefore desires it's okay to have, versus desires that are standing in our way. Because we always talk about be desireless. And yet, of course, there are desires that are going to bring us along our spiritual path. And so how do we know which desires are the ones that are okay to hold and which desires are the ones that we're supposed to no longer have? Yeah. I abbreviated it a little. The bottom line really is all desires are okay. The act of simply desiring is in and of itself not a problem. Desires are what create energy. Desires are great catalysts. I desire no longer to have a stomach that's growling. Therefore, I will go and have a meal. I desire a chocolate ice cream cone. I mean, it's not that you can only desire rice and dal. I desire a chocolate ice cream cone, I'll go and have a chocolate ice cream cone. Nothing wrong in it. There's nobody who's going to say, well, God, that was really an unspiritual thing to do. I desire to spend some moments in the sunshine. Spend some moments in the sunshine. Wonderful. Even I desire to have beautiful things. I've gone someplace. I've purchased beautiful things. Nothing wrong in it. The reason that we're told over and over and over again, be desireless, is the problem is that they are endless. When they exist only as desires in our mind, they seem very finite. If only I could go to this place, have that job, have this relationship, get out of that relationship. It seems very finite. And what we're not able to realize is what happens after that. So for example, I desire a chocolate ice cream cone. Great, by all means, go out, have it. And then an hour later, I desire another one. Okay, have another one. A little while later, I desire another one. And slowly, aside from the fact that it's going to ruin my teeth, aside from the fact that it's going to put on unnecessary extra weight, aside from the fact that eventually I might develop diabetes, that desire for a chocolate ice cream cone is now running my life. Because I now no longer can go places where they don't serve chocolate ice cream cones. Because that desire has become so rooted in me that I know once an hour I need that chocolate ice cream cone. So now I create my life in such a way as not to be too far from the guy who sells the chocolate ice cream. The desire itself was not a problem. Even fulfilling the desire was not a problem. It's the then what. Puja Swamiji was explaining once a while ago something that was so deep, and I've held on to it, and I want to share it with you. He said, most of us think that the joy we feel, the relief we feel at fulfilling our desire means that the desire was actually what was keeping us not having joy and not having peace. Because once I fulfilled it, now I'm happy. And he said, actually what it is that in that brief moment of having fulfilled the desire, I no longer have the desire. And it's a very subtle but very, very crucial distinction. It's not the fulfillment of the desire that's brought the joy and peace. It's that temporarily after having fulfilled it, I no longer have the desire. So it's actually being without the desire that has brought me the joy and peace, not the chocolate ice cream cone or the expensive things. It's just that immediately after eating it, for at least a little while, I'm satisfied. I wanted to go shopping, I went shopping, I've come home with shopping bags in my hand for at least a few hours or a few days or a few weeks. I'm satisfied. that satisfaction, that joy, comes because I no longer desire it. Not actually because the chocolate ice cream cone was so wonderful, or that the new shoes I got, or the new clothes, or the new purse is actually such a provider of joy for me. It's just that, wow, I'd been wanting that purse for so long, I'd been wanting those shoes for so long, I'd been wanting to have new things for so long. I'm now temporarily free of the desire of wanting something. And so what I would say to you is, and to everybody, have desires, no problem. Just as I was telling her not to wage war against our thoughts, don't wage war against your desires. There is nothing you desire that's wrong. Nothing. It's what do I have to do in order to fulfill it? That's where the question comes. To desire to be king of the universe, great, wonderful. I'm sure would all make a wonderful difference. But what am I actually going to have to do? What games am I going to have to play? What politics am I going to have to play? Who am I going to have to woo and charm and bribe and whatnot? I mean, getting elected to the your local panchayat is in and of itself a job. Becoming king of the universe? Imagine. So the desire is fine. The desire could even be propelled by wonderful feelings. If I were king of the universe, there would be no hunger. There'd be no poverty. There'd be no crime. I would wipe it all out. But there are two aspects that bring problems with desires, and this is what you have to look at. Number one, what does it require I do in my action? I desire to have beautiful things, but I don't have any money. Therefore, in order to have these beautiful things now, I have to steal them. There's no other way to get them. I don't have money. I want them now. In order to get them, I have to steal them. Well, obviously that way to get them is in and of itself a problem. The desire wasn't a problem. If you happen to have lots of money, you could afford what you wanted, no problem. When you can't, then the question becomes, well, what do I have to do in order to fulfill that desire? So whatever our desire is, what am I going to have to do to actually fulfill that? And is that doing in line with my dharma, with my values, with my ethics, with my morals? Does that doing keep me from something else? So back to like my chocolate ice cream cone example, desiring it is no problem. But in order to fulfill it over and over and over again, I now have to not go to school, not go to my job, not go anywhere and hang out by the chocolate ice cream cone guy all day long. So now that's going to create a major problem in my life. It's going to prevent me from being and learning and doing who I'm supposed to be. So that's one aspect to ask yourself is, okay, desires are fine, but let's look at each of them. What would I have to actually do to achieve it? And am I prepared to do that? Is doing that in line with the rest of who I am? And then the last piece comes with my attachment to the desire being fulfilled. I want a chocolate ice cream cone. I go out to the chocolate ice cream cone vendor. He's out of chocolate ice cream cones. Am I able to say, okay, no problem, I guess I'll just have a vanilla? Or am I so irate that my desire hasn't been fulfilled that I murder him, or I come home and I scream at my family, or I, whatever it is? Has that lack of fulfillment of my desire stolen my peace? I want expensive things, I can't afford them. Stealing is not in line with my ethics and values, so I'm not going to do it. Therefore, this lack of fulfillment of my desire is destroying my peace. I can't sleep at night. I scream at my husband for not making enough money, or my parents for not having enough money. Everybody I look on the street who has the things that I want, I hate them inside. I feel like God has deprived me. I'm not satisfied with my life, and therefore I'm not able to bring joy to others. Because all I can think is those beautiful things that I don't have. So again, it wasn't the desiring of them that was a problem. It's either what I have to do to attain it, to fulfill that desire, or the attachment that I have to the desire being fulfilled. If what I have to do to fulfill my desire is in line with my values and ethics, and if, even if it's not fulfilled, I'm still in peace, then no problem, by all means. Desire, we're children of God, we should have everything. He's infinite, why shouldn't we be infinite? He's omnipotent, why shouldn't we be omnipotent? By all means. But just make sure that the fulfillment of it, or the lack of fulfillment of it, doesn't steal our peace or our whole lives.